The U.S. President's pardon power derives from the English monarchy, originating between A.D. 668 and 725. At that time, the law, as we understand it today, as a set of written rules that are supposed to apply to the general population even-handedly, did not exist. The king or queen was the law. English rulers throughout the Middle Ages, 1485 to 1603, acted pursuant to the royal prerogative. The monarch, who obtained power hereditarily, was the boss of all bosses. Because the king or queen was the ultimate boss, the idea of justice was administered according to the monarch's complete and unlimited discretion. If an individual committed a transgression that might be considered a crime, their fate rested ultimately in the hands of the king or queen. Under such a legal regime, a pardon was a natural part of the sovereign's inherent, unconstrained power. By the time of the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783, Britain was not a total monarchy. Instead, it had evolved into what's known as a constitutional monarchy. King George III was on the throne, but his power had eroded over time. The government still acted in the name of the crown, but the king or queen's role had become subordinate to the legislative and ministerial body of Parliament and the courts. In 1690, Parliament enacted the Crown and Parliament Recognition Act of 1689, which made it illegal for the Crown to take certain actions without the consent of Parliament. In other words, the king did not have total and complete power when the Constitution was ratified and when the U.S. President's power to pardon officially came about. It may come as a surprise to many that the English monarchs did not have unlimited discretion to issue pardons when the pardon power was granted to U.S. presidents in the U.S. Constitution in 1788. Nonetheless, despite this historical context, the Constitution has since been construed to give an elected American president virtually unlimited authority to pardon federal offenses, greater than that of King George III, whose massive power was precisely what the revolutionaries fought and died to avoid. And why? Presidents today have greater powers to pardon than King George III did at the time of the American Revolution. Does that come as a surprise? Does it make sense?